about to come down the aisle from parts unknown, weighing 255 pounds. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just love Howard Finkel. You know, I just love Howard Finkel so much. I just love him. I love him. I love Wardlow. I love AEW. I love NXT, WWE. There's so much wrestling news to get to. This is Out of Nowhere. If you don't subscribe, what the hell is wrong with you? Do it now. This is Out of Nowhere, the most famous podcast in all the world. Finkel, you know. What's up, everybody? Last night, AEW Boston. We're going to talk about that. I sort of talked a lot about it already. It's kind of been blown away and blown out of proportion. Jake DeMarco in the house. It's Out of Nowhere, episode 173. We're going to take a lot of phone calls tonight, but there's a lot to talk about, really. Like WWE, NWA, NXT, AEW, the ratings comparisons, True TV, TNT, Tom Brady 12. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. We're not going to talk about that. It is windy out there right now. So much to talk about. It's Out of Nowhere, and I'm going to show you guys a little teaser of the vlog that's going up tomorrow from the AEW show. Plus, after Out of Nowhere, me and my wife, Leah, are going to do our podcast live on Patreon for all you patrons out there. And we're going to answer all the questions we haven't answered yet. And then on top of that, we're going to post a new question thing. So that's coming up after Out of Nowhere. This is the Joe Cronin Show. Hope you guys can subscribe if you're new. Share the love. Spread the love. Make sure you share it to somebody who's of age. And let's go. Talking about the NWA, AEW, NXT, WWE. What are you going to do? Fuck PG in its mouth. Fuck Russell. Tear it up. Do the same with SmackDown. Same result. Week to week, scream and shout. We are told to shut our mouths. No more lies. Thorn in your eye. We're all together. War, out of nowhere. This is war, out of nowhere. This is war, out of nowhere. This is war, out of nowhere. Wardlow, take it away, because I have a little sneak peek at the vlog that's going to take place tomorrow right here on the Joe Cronin Show for the AEW experience of a lifetime. This vlog is like 40 minutes long or something. It might not be that long. It's pretty long, though. So Wardlow, take it away. When is Wardlow going to debut in AEW? I don't know.
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.
Yeah, we're here at AEW, man. This is the first time ever being to an AEW event, so I'm pretty pumped up. Wait a minute, Brooklyn, New York, and White Sox? You're like terrifying.
No, I'm. How's the Glory Boys? What's up, bro?
Private party! Daddy like. We're outside the Aganis Arena right now with Dan Kennedy. Whoa, Dan, whoa, Kennedy. Hey, Dan, I just cornholed Tommy NC's mother.
I bet you did.
Whoa. No, your line is whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, come on, man. What the hell? Back down, Janela! Oh, maybe not. Whoa. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. But seriously, we've basically been outside of the Aganis Arena heckling the shit out of people. We just made fun of a guy who was wearing skinny jeans. Like, there's another guy right there. I can almost see his ass through his pants. I don't know why, but guys now are wearing... Have you noticed this around here? A lot of the guys are jogging around in, like, the shortest shorts you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah, that's why I don't come out here that much.
Yeah. Have you found yourself doing what I do, especially with the ones who are, like, completely hairless? I'm like, ooh, look at... Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, that's just a little sample. There's a whole lot more of there's a lot. If you like comedy, I think you're gonna like the vlog. If you like fucked up comedy, I think you're gonna enjoy the vlog. Not a lot of wrestlers and stuff like that, and cool. Like everybody does that. Like I'm here with this wrestler and that wrestler. I didn't get to do any of that, despite having all the access and everything early on. I thought, but the guy that was next to me was so pissed. Anyway, let me bring Jake in on this conversation because I have him muted. And I'd like to bring Jake in. Guys, what's up? All donations on. Everything's ready to go. Yeah, you could really hear me screaming at Joey Janela. It was like because it was the Dark match and people had just kind of gotten really quiet for a few, and then they came back. But at that time, it was so quiet when I yelled. It was like you could hear it echoing in the building. Like it was that quiet. That's why I'm telling you that on the TV, I'm expected to look for it. But again,
I can't wait to see it on Dark for their new.
I'm pumped to see Dark.
Janela, maybe not.
Yeah, but yeah.
I just started dying when I heard that.
I do like Joey. It's a
maybe
joke.
Not.
And I just got to thank AEW, man. Cody and Brandy and everybody at AEW. I haven't sent them a thank you yet, but I'm gonna later on because it was just so fun, and I wouldn't have been going otherwise. So
yeah,
shout out to them.
That.
Now the guy next to me though, because I wasn't really like I want to get to the press event. I want to talk to Tony Khan. I mean, certainly I did, but I didn't. I wasn't.
You didn't push your luck.
Yeah, I wasn't even about that. It was just kind of like, hey, cool.
Experiencing the day.
I get access. By the way, Kenny Bolin, before you make another podcast about Joe Cronin takes money from his fans and then buys tickets to wrestling events. Once again, let's just show the proof again. That I didn't pay for that. So. Just so you know, Kenny Bolin, so you won't go on Jim Cornette's show and do another 20 minutes about how I take money and buy tickets. So I'll just show the tickets every time that I didn't pay for it. But the bottom line is the guy next to me was one of the press guys from, I won't say where he's from, I guess. I won't be like that. But the bottom line is he was like pissed because he was like, clearly like he had submitted to get some kind of access or something, and he was like wrote down all these notes and was ready to go and had all these questions he wanted to ask after the show and all these things. And when they were like, oh, there's not going to be a media thing, or you're not going to have access to that tonight, he was just like, oh, and then we got to our seats. He's like, I gotta be honest, I'm pissed. like this is
I
crazy.
can understand why. I mean,
yeah, that guy
having that preconceived notion and then them just either changing their minds or canceling because it was said originally that they were doing another like media day.
Yeah, then they said they don't.
Event.
And then Tony last week said, I don't know if we'll have one next week, and we're not going to have one every week. But I never heard him say we're definitely not having it next week. But he did indicate that it might be the last one. And
yeah, but it was other people in the business, like other wrestlers had mentioned, we'll see you for media coverage, and that's why I was confused. So
yeah, I almost wonder if nobody from the media came.
Yeah, that could be it.
I'm not.
Well,
I'm not kidding because I was in the media section, and I didn't see too many people. There was about 3 guys besides me.
One of the shots you had shown us, it didn't look like many people had passes in that area. So
no, a lot of the passes you saw were like friends of the building, friends of the wrestlers, people like that. Like had different badges that were like weird. But nobody, yeah, it was weird. I almost think they didn't have it. But he was mad because, yeah, he had a whole list of, like, he's like, I would have just watched this at home, to be honest. He's like, I had a lot to do. But because they told me this, I was like, well, I guess I got to get out there for that. And
yeah,
so
congratulations to you being on the front page of every major published website, every publication there is. YouTube, not so much, oddly enough, kind of funny. But
well, I find it hilarious. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, it's really funny. All the internet websites picked up the Cody Rhodes stuff, and even some of the video sites, But anybody who like does anything like me, I noticed did not pick up that. It was like a major story, right? Cody Rhodes talking about AEW chants and also the concussion to either Bray or Seth. That was like major news, like that you would definitely make a video on. Anybody who had a wrestling channel like mine, like, I don't even think Sean's View did one. Nobody did a video on that top news that was like the top news for like 12 hours, if not longer, the other day.
The only ones that that I saw for videos was Cultaholic. They put you over.
Well, because they don't care, because they're so massive, and also I'm friends with them. But also they
you've had good interaction. We both
and they
have
they also don't really compete. We do kind of different things. I feel like we don't we do similar things, but it's different. Like, it's not the same. A lot of the other people were people that like go live right after Raw and do shows that. Now, I mean, I've done this. No, I'm not. I'm gonna gloat. Fuck you. I've done this longer than all of them. I've done this longer than all of them, and all of them copied how I do my titles and everything. It's really funny. That's cute. But it did. Oh my god, I did notice that nobody picked it up like at all, and it was obvious that they were like, oh, wow, that news, I'm going to make a video. Oh, wait. Oh, Joe Cronin? Oh, I'm not going to fuck that. I don't want to give that anymore. Yeah, it's really funny. Like, it's totally noticeable, but it's great. Yeah, but hey.
You would ask me, any questions do you have that you want to ask? And I was like, no, because the only things that I would ask, you were already obviously going to bring up, and I wouldn't, obviously ask him, non-softball-ish questions. You don't want to peg him on that first interview. So the one thing I was most curious about is seeing if statistics were really going to come into play for this. They had mentioned wins and losses being so important, and he said it on your interview. This is what's happening. It's going to be instated ASAP. And last night on the show, on the broadcast, you saw in the bottom right hand corner, their singles record, their tag record, their overall record. Depending on whatever type of match they were in, it let you know. And I was like, wow, that is heavily impressive and really a new aspect of wrestling.
Well, and he was starting to get heat a little bit about it, and that's why I asked him. Yeah. I paid attention to what was going on, and one of the things I noticed was getting heat about it. So I asked him, and he had the perfect answer, which is, dude, we don't have enough stats yet. We don't have enough measurements to take. You know what I mean? Like, so far, everybody's lost maybe 1 or 2 or 3 matches, and there's nothing yet. We're just compiling it now so we can deliver it. And I think a lot of people thought right from the beginning, 1-0-0, DQ, blah, blah, blah. And I wonder, and I wish I followed up that question with, let's pretend it's in the future and somebody's 22-7. Will the broadcast team ever get into well, you got to remember, this guy has lost several matches from DQ. He's also lost a couple time limit draws. So managing the time in this match is going to be very interesting, and also making sure he stays in the ring, because he doesn't want to get counted out again, and that be the reason why he doesn't move up the ranks here at AEW. And I think, wow, that's what a dynamic that is. So I wish I asked Cody Rhodes that on top of it. But yeah, man, it was no big deal to me. It was fun to have him on, and it really is quite amazing. Everything that happened. Look, I even caught a young buck. You know what I mean? Or 100 young bucks, or whatever you want to call it. That sounds actually awesome. That sounds creepy. But no, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to change the name to the old bucks pretty soon. Because I mean the hairline's going away, and I mean I'm 35, dude. I don't even realize this. I'm older than Cody Rhodes. Yeah, when you see that sometimes, when you see somebody that's at the peak of their life and accomplishing so much, and you're like, wow, you're 27. You're like, damn, it kind of hits your pride at times, but you're like, holy hell, look at all you've accomplished already. And I'll be the first one to admit, it was obvious. Last week, I gave NXT the higher score, not by much. I think it was half a point. Right. But I enjoyed AEW for different reasons, and I like them both, a lot, immensely. I had enjoyments brought about by each show. NXT was really more the wrestling. AEW had just this overall different feel to it.
But I didn't want to say like, I didn't dislike AEW, because that wasn't the point. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't like super into it yet. I didn't have this immense hype like everyone else seemed to be head over heels for it. Yeah. Last night watching the show, I'm like, all right, I'm going to really focus. I'm not going to do, because I wasn't worried about, having to do the review with you. So you were going to be there, driving back. I said, so I'm just going to watch AEW, and I'm going to put my 100% full focus into this. I'll watch NXT after. I won't spoil myself. I'll stay off social media. I could not get enough. I loved it from top to bottom. There was not a negative moment in that show. If you wanted to even like say like, oh, the women's match was a bit of a lower point, even that was still building towards future feuds. They put over the women's champion. They had just a new, fresh feel to so many aspects of things. Like I said, bringing in the statistics, the promos. It has a attitude era and old school feel combined with some new elements that I'm really enjoying. I like when you see one guy cut a promo in the back, and then when you go ahead and you have them walk down to the match and they do that picture-in-picture promo.
Yes.
Jimmy
Havoc. Jimmy Havoc's one was nice.
That was a great promo from him. Moxley doing the stuff beforehand.
Did I miss something on that promo? Because one thing I did criticize about it was weird, because they were fighting for the #1 contendership, and Jimmy Havoc kind of cut a like, you're going to feel my pain promo. But like, I felt like, why did he do that? Why didn't he?
Well, because he said that, he's been here 15 years and he's finally able to prove himself. This is how he's going to make a name for himself. This is how he's going to prove that, all he's endured, all the pain he's felt, all the violence he's persevered through. I'm going to make you experience what I've been through to get to this point.
But not really, because they were going out to have a regular match.
But he was saying, I'm going to put you through it all to make sure I come out on top.
Yeah, I guess I got it. I was just like, I felt like that promo would have been better placed like before the Cracker Barrel match. I feel like this promo was more like, it was just weird. It was like they were trying to be like, these guys are so hardcore, but wait, this match isn't hardcore.
Well, they also made comments on it, and they did bring it up on commentary,
but they brought it back up once.
They wanted to prove that they're not just hardcore guys.
I thought they should have gone into it more. I just felt that was my.
Yeah, I can see what you're getting at, but to me, I didn't mind it. They were trying to explain how we're more than just tables, ladders, and chairs extreme.
Yeah, they definitely should say that. Like that.
Yeah, and that's what commentary was trying to put over, and that's partly what the wrestlers
they only mentioned to me. I believe they only mentioned it once, and it was during Darby Allin's music still playing. And I just thought like the story in the match should have been like more of that, but maybe there was. I'm gonna have to watch it again. But like in my final review, I mentioned that I didn't see too many people. I actually said it out loud that, hey, I might be wrong. Maybe they did mention it more, but just commentary felt a little discombobulated to me when I watched it back. The camera cuts they almost got into WWE territory with too many cuts and awkward shots. Live, it was better.
One complaint I had about the show. I feel like they seemed almost like hectic at times. A wrestler would go and stand in the corner to do his corner taunt, and they were like. I noticed that the camera guy was already on the ring apron, so now he's got to like fall backwards to get the shot rather than just go wide and stay with it.
It's like the technical director doesn't yet know what buttons go to what camera, and like they would like Jericho at the end was like, it's going to be your funeral, bitch, or whatever. And what happened was as soon as Jericho started talking, they were zoomed into Cody's face in the ring. And then Jericho's like, it's going to be your funeral, you bitch, or something. And then they cut away from Cody, and the mic had already left Jericho's hand, and he already turned around. And there were several examples of that all night. And I was like, they missed the goddamn shot. You got Cody, he says that, you missed that. But then you go to him, and now you don't need to go to him. Now you need to go back to Cody. And then they go back. And this is clear as day if you watch it. So that was, I give AEW an 8 out of 10. I loved it. I really did. Yeah. I loved it live. I liked it better live because live I saw more of what happened. And I thought about the way I would shoot it and the way I would be directing it and the shots we were going to be taking and whatever. And then when I got home and watched the product on TV, I went, ugh.
I think one of the things that they have working against them is they're unlike WWE, who is so used to traveling. Like every arena is almost the same arena in their minds because they have their setup so like in a particular fashion. It seemed like this, there was no tarped off area. They had certain things working against them, and they have to get used to, like, where are we going to put this? Where is this more comfortable? Do we have to move the announce team over a little bit more? Do we have to, line the ramp up this way? Like, they're still trying to adjust and get all the kinks out. But I agree with you entirely there. Every moment of the show was establishing a character, explaining to the audience, the next plot point, They were trying to show you differences in people's behaviors, mannerisms, and they really expounded on who these people were, what drives them. Jericho's explanation of the inner circle, shutting down the "We the People" chant. People went nuts for him, basically calling out WWE's creative.
Do you think
that was a great way to do it?
Go back to the inner circle. Do you think he named it that to have a lame name on purpose because he was worried about everything getting over? Because he's trying to be heel, and inner circle sounds dumb, but I mean he can get it over.
Yeah, he can get anything over. I wasn't crazy about the name, but I think it's one of those things where it's going to grow on people. And apparently he crashed the T-shirt site for I think it was Pro Wrestling Tees once the Inner Circle shirt came out.
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow. Well, that didn't work.
Sold out and the whole website crashed.
Wow. I mean, like I was dude, I almost thought to myself like a conspiracy, like, did he purposely name it something weird because like
it feels like they just went with something simple that everyone will get.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Like when you hear the Shield, you're like, or even the Wolf Pack, that kind of thing. With this,
well, that sounds cooler.
You know what the inner circle is. It's a particular set of people that are in the know. Typically, it's kind of just.
It's also a song. It's a song. You might have named it after that to be silly, and I almost think that's the band that does that song "Cop." Someone said or something, and so I guess like. The Bad Boys, like what you gonna do? Like, someone said that.
I could see him doing something like that.
Didn't they have them on the Cruise of Jericho or something? I think
that I'm not sure of.
I don't know. Like, it might be a reference there. Let me play a donation. Donations are on. Bring on the bubbly. Where is everybody tonight? What the fuck's going on?
Pour me a beer. You've got a new subscriber.
Who's this? D-Boy West Coast Uncensored. That sounds like a hell of a time, man.
That's one hell of a name. I unfortunately can't hear anything again. So.
Oh, motherfucker. Well, let me mute you. I think we can get it back. Let's go.
You are fucked.
Come on, you stupid sound shit. DSeuss 1108. What's up, man? What's up to everybody in the chat? How you guys doing? Hope you guys are doing well. Not sure Joe mentioned it yet, but the theme music is still quiet to me on Dynamite. Yeah, I think it needs to be a little bit louder, man.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly.
Bubbly? Look at this stuff.
Let's go. Give me some bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Brandy Rhodes is the sexiest woman alive. Debe is the ugliest woman alive.
All right.
PFF. Who would win in a dildo on a pole match?
Oh, man.
Brandy or Debe? Thoughtful face.
Oh, Debe, dude. Debe would win that. Fucking bitch bastard motherfucker. Thanks for the $3, man. What's up? $3 going to fucking bitch bastard motherfucker. Yeah, Brandy wouldn't win that because Debe would win that because she would gobble, suck, and whatever her way to the pole. You know what I mean? I know that Brandy's a classy lady. She wouldn't do that. But Debe might. So there you have that. $3, man. There we go to start the show. You are the current JCS. Temporary, potentially 24/7 digital champion. What a name to be in charge of the championship belt. Brandy's 36, and she's older than Cody. Brandy's 36, man. She looks like she's 28. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm 35. I am 35, but yeah, very, very nice. Very nice, Cody and
you are fucked.
You're fucked. I think Jay can hear these again.
Yes, indeed.
All right, brother. We are...
Oh, yeah. Inner Circle Stone Roses says, yeah, definitely the reggae group that did the Bad Boys theme from Cops.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they were on the cruise, but apparently the logo, has like an Illuminati look to it, and people are all about that as well. So I think it's just something that's... formulaic's the wrong word, but just... I don't want to undervalue it either, but calling it simple in the sense of it's just easy to get. It is just...
I almost expect them to be like, and this is Chris Jericho's Band of Bastards.
Yeah, like
the band of bastards.
Inner Circle, like we're the guys. So if he swore or used anything that was... I think they might have an easier time copywriting Inner Circle as well. Maybe it was just something that, came down to that. Like, this can be used in a wrestling format, But... At first, I was like, I'm not crazy about it. I saw immediately, as soon as he said it, the hashtag came up, and I was like, And I saw the design, looks cool, and then it grows on me as time went on.
Thank God he didn't say what the guy next to me thought. There was a guy sitting next to me who was like, oh, man, I really thought he was going to call it the List Club or something. I was like, what the fuck? You wanted to call it the List Club? Dude, you might as well call it fucking...
And it's funny that he is crapping on
Club.
WWE Creative, but he's like, "Stupid idiots," and you made my list. So
yeah, it was funny. And
I know that's Jacob's thing, but even still, it is WWE.
Well, that was a good creative idea,
Yeah, but he's calling them shitty creative. So
well, Swagger's what? Well, I think honestly, dude, I think that what that is to me, and maybe it's not, but whether he knows it or not, him actually putting it down like that put it over. He actually put over the WWE creative, which is not good, I think. But whatever. But also, Jake Hager could be turning on Jericho soon, and that could be part of it. Like, oh, it was a bad idea. Screw that We the People thing.
And they're trying to make him the next, Brock Lesnar per se. They're Brock. Overstated the MMA killer, undefeated, baddest man alive.
Did they really overstate it? Did he not win? Is he lost?
He hasn't lost yet.
What is he, like 4-0?
I'll check his record, but I think it's. I thought it was 3-0. I'll double check.
It's not many fights, but yeah, he's he's up there.
I know it's not that many. His professional record, I think, is 2-0. I believe it says here. I thought it was 3-0.
Jesus, it's only 2-0. Well, that is pretty funny. Then
that's from Tapology, so I'm trying to double check that. But
oh wow. Well, that is interesting.
He got the submission finish, and I think that was it. So, but
that's interesting.
Yeah, he's 2-0. So
get the super chat coming in from Dean Bigelow.
I'm surprised the Bucks lost in the opening.
Yeah, everybody was pretty shocked about that. I think we all said, and we all thought the Bucks wouldn't win, but I mean, eventually in this tournament. But we didn't see that happening so early. But they did the right thing because Private Party was over, got over, and it was believable. And it was a fun match. They showed everybody who they were. A lot of people know who they are already, but now everybody knows who they are. So
immediately you knew right then and there that they valued their tag division more than their namesake and their brand, for the Young Bucks. They value the company, and because they could have just put themselves over. That was one of my worries with Cody and the Bucks. Are they always constantly going to win? Are they going to be the first tag team champions? Was Cody immediately going to be, the champion of the company? And we're kind of seeing how it plays out. Now, Cody's in a precarious situation because he has a very good record.
He's the guy.
Yeah. I don't think he'll beat Jericho, though. I think that Jericho will retain at Full Gear.
Yeah.
I think that him and Cody, they're going to play this out for a while to come.
Well, the thing is, what I want to say about AEW, and I am not sucking their ass now because all this, everybody's like, oh, Joe's sucking their ass. They were SJ. Somebody the other day said, oh, you thought you hated them and they were SJWs. No, I didn't. Like, I just said that could be a problem, and we talked about it, and that it still could be a problem. But what I've seen, they've proven that wrong. Here's the thing. They've proven that wrong, dude. Like, they have literally said, we are signing people, but we're not making that a big deal. There was people next to me who were mad. They wanted to ask WWE, Jesus, there I go. They wanted to ask AEW in the back why they haven't signed more black wrestlers. Those were legitimate questions that a media outlet had for them, and they were upset they couldn't answer it. And
that's ridiculous.
What? I was like, dude, they got a transgender fucking female Indian black person. Like, what the fuck are you talking? Like,
who people were complaining about like, not winning the title when they were worried about her winning. Like,
no, but there's a lot of people asking these. There's a lot of people asking these questions.
Yeah. And it's baffling.
But they painted that corner for themselves by saying, we're going to include everybody. Oh, well, get ready because they're going to take more and they're going to ask for more. But no, Cody Rhodes is legitimately the guy and over with the fans in a different way than anybody else. And honestly, his brother's kind of that way too. Dustin last night in that Boston crowd, don't know how well it translated to the TV, but man, those people started freaking for him. Like, it was, like,
it showed.
The Rhodes
crowd
brothers
was great all night.
They feel it, man. This feels like something to them. It's a different vibe with him. So that's why Cody's in the position he's in, so I don't have a problem with that. The Young Bucks, I think the Young Bucks are kind of putting themselves down on purpose, but then it was the right decision because Private Party was so over last night. I would say that the Private Party was slightly more over than the Bucks last night because of the excitement of them being there for the first time. So then they won. It was like all the right stuff happened, because the Bucks could have won, and then half the crowd would have been like, oh well, I love the Bucks. But the slight edge last night in popularity went to Private Party, and then they did win. So it was like the fans were looking for something, and then they got it. It was really, And they knew that they could do it on their first match because the fans would probably support them the most for the first performance.
Yeah.
So yeah, just all around, like I'm telling you, this is what we've been talking about. Everything AEW has not everything.
No, it doesn't. But JR said at the end, the fans are just chanting AEW as the madness is going on, and everything's unfolding for the finale of the show. And he's like, the fans are hungry for it. This is what they want. This is what they deserve. This is what they need. And he's going on and on, in that vein of, his explanation. And I'm like, that really is a point right now. They're giving you an alternative in every way, shape, and form, it feels like, to WWE. You want stand-up, excellent tag team wrestling that actually means something. They're going with it there. You wanted more compelling stories, and I so far we're getting that in spades, it feels like. I was not on the hype train. I've been very critical openly of AEW. I was worried about many, many things. And last night really changed my perception. And I wasn't there in person. I honestly didn't see a bad moment to the show whatsoever. There were certain things, like you said, the camera work you can critique. I did like the fact that when they have the wrestlers come out, they play a bit of their Titantron, and that fills the screen because it helps differentiate, between which person is coming out and who you're addressing. Thing is, the music even is very, very low, and I wish they would crank that up. That certainly it needs to be addressed. Yeah. The one thing that bothers me the most are the ropes. They look so loose.
They look loose, yeah.
They're just wobbling constantly. The ring sounds good. I give them that, but it just the ropes drove me nuts. Something about them,
really,
just the whole time they look like bungee cords.
Here's the thing: I like loose ropes when I see it because I think it looks cool when a guy gets knocked down and the ropes kind of shake, and it looks kind of cool when they shake a little bit. So I have no problem. The reason why I referenced the ropes the other day was because I'm worried about the wrestlers because these guys have been working with ropes that are pretty tight. And I feel like for some reason, only in these last couple shows, I didn't notice it at Double or Nothing. I didn't notice it at All Out, All In, nothing. But I can tell, I'm dead serious. Those ropes are probably are about they're just like one or two times looser than I've seen them before. And that is, it's obvious to me. I wrestled in a lot of rings. Those ropes are definitely looser. And you can notice it, and I wonder why they've done that. I wonder if that's something that they did on purpose, or they don't realize it, or maybe I'm crazy, but it's definitely going on. Like, it's definitely noticeable. Let me play another donation here.
I'm gonna leave this.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna leave this briefcase.
I met him last night at the show.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase.
Soundwave 92.
I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here. I'm gonna leave this briefcase right here. Son, run, you fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch. Run
away.
You fat bitch. Run, you fat bitch.
I'm gonna leave it right here.
Run, you fucking fat bitch.
I'm not a terrorist.
Don't you think I'm a fucking terrorist?
The Soundwave 92. Go for it.
Run, you fat bitch.
The new 1984.
Can't believe AU got over 1 million again this week and NXT failed to for the second straight week. You feel like that with the NBA season coming up we will see more decline in ratings from both shows? I still think AU is likely to be ahead regardless.
Yeah, the Soundwave 92, baby. Thank you very much for that new $19.84 donation. Let me get you on here. Hold on. Soundwave 92. By the way, I met him last night. This guy is hilarious. He's an awesome dude, and that was really cool meeting you, dude. And he wore a Joe Cronin Show shirt, too, so that popped me as well, bro, so thank you for that. But, yeah, top donator now. Biggest donation of the stream. We're putting you with that belt. Yeah, we didn't talk about the ratings yet, so let's go right into the ratings.
Yeah, right off the bat, we had AEW Dynamite produced 1.14 million combined viewers for Wednesday's episode.
Did you add True
TNT
TV to that?
True TV.
Yeah, because it was bullshit that they scared everybody into thinking it was on True TV. Then they broadcast it on both channels.
Yeah, so TNT delivered a 1.018, and True TV added 122,000 viewers. So the combined number obviously was down from the 1.4 last week. And, we had hoped it would go up, but it did go down, as we saw. NXT, unfortunately, went to 790,000 viewers.
Yikes.
So they went down as well. So AEW won, essentially, if you're going for the Wednesday Night War, rivalry, they won by 350,000 viewers.
Right.
So and that works out, too. The viewers that NXT lost went to AEW, it seems, and AEW just lost that influx of excess. So... And that was kind of what we were mentioning and not concerned about, but at least thinking might happen.
Yeah, I would say that changing of the channel interfered a little bit. Some of the baseball playoffs, maybe a little bit too, but I'm not really making excuses because I think it's probably about. It's like the same like WWE. I'm not going to talk about competing against other things because you're either there or you're not.
Yeah, exactly. And NXT had such a huge stacked week last week. Mm-hmm. And this week, the only thing that was really advertised was Walter, who the fans were. I was excited to see him and Kushida have that, epic showdown. And same thing with Lio Rush's match. But when you're, not familiar with NXT and then you're hearing these names, a lot of people don't know NXT UK. They didn't watch 205 Live. So if they did watch any of NXT, the matches advertised weren't even people from NXT, essentially. It was UK and 205 Live. So there was no real NXT draw this week, homegrown at that point. So they were kind of climbing uphill as well. And some good points for NXT. They had a good show. I would obviously give AEW the personal preference to be watched this week if you only had to choose one and go back. Rush, great to see that he's the cruiserweight champion from NXT. That was an okay match. I was expecting so much more from these two. Drew Gulak really is impressive with how he can be so interchangeable. Every time he gets a new opponent, he works well with each person that he faces. He can kind of really be adaptable and change his style on the fly. But they only gave him 9 minutes in total, so I was a bit perplexed as to why they didn't allow them to have more time. Still, with some homages to Eddie Guerrero, Lio Rush picked up the win. That was good. And then Walter and Kushida killed it. And, of course, Undisputed Era, their feud with Ciampa and Velveteen Dream progressed more. At least Dream got a really good promo this week. It wasn't confusing. It wasn't kind of outlandish and crazy. He did the whole thing. I don't know if you saw it, but he was saying that Roderick Strong has a small dick. It was funny.
Yeah. A lot of sexual stuff from them.
And that seems to
They're
be
trying to compete.
A bit more the edgier humor that Triple H seems to like. So it's funny how the DX side of things kind of shone through.
Can you hear this? Hold on. Can you hear this?
Here I am, an SJW.
No,
you didn't hear that. Let me play again. Tom, hey, what's up, brother? Hold on a minute. Let me mute you guys real quick.
Here I am, an SJW.
Just give me the thumbs up when you can hear these sounds. Oh, they're back? All right, cool. We got them back. All right. Well, yeah, so it's funny you mentioned that because one of the guys who never played my news about Cody, coincidentally, my buddy from PW Unlimited, he had a comment about how NXT started with some comments made, and I because I hadn't watched NXT yet, I listened to a bunch of people's reviews because I was working out, and I wanted to hear what other people were saying about NXT because I'm kind of on the fence with how I feel about this episode of NXT. And I listened to this, and his fucking description of Beth Phoenix, because I heard this, and I went, what the fuck? What are they doing? And but his description of it really set me off. PWU killed me with this, so I had to play this clip of him because he sounds like... This is funny, listen.
Come up in his Breezango and the crowd goes wild. And then, as Breezango is...
talking about when Breezango came out and Beth Phoenix almost came.
Coming down to the ring.
Yeah, she went nuts.
Oh, poor Beth Phoenix. Literally says, I find construction work riveting. I've heard Breezango has many hidden talents. I've heard they are good at hammering things. Morrow then says, do you need a cold shower, Beth? Adam on line 1, she is on the edge. And then Nigel says something like, some reference to, you haven't felt like this since your bachelorette party.
Yeah, he brought that up.
What the hell was this?
What the hell was this? Dude, I got to play that again.
Because it was like a
so
Magic
funny.
Mike moment when they came out, you know. And it really had that feel to it. So you hear her gushing and oohing and eyeing, and they're like, really? Really? It was
bachelorette
This is the best part.
Party. What the hell was this?
Oh my god. What the hell was this? Oh my god. Anyway, yo, Tommy, what's up, brother?
Not much. How are you guys doing tonight?
How you doing, sexy?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
All right, baby. What's up with you?
I mean, I watched AEW and I thought it was the most awesome show ever.
Oh, really?
And I know that you had to appreciate it also because you were there live. Like, how was it? Was there any difference between the WWE audience and an AEW audience?
Yeah,
in your opinion?
Yeah, the AEW audience didn't suck cock. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, I've been, you know, obviously, I've had the opportunity. You know, WWE's been cool and giving me all these tickets and stuff, and I've sat in the front row and I've had a party at WWE. But at WWE, I felt like I needed to get hammered, and I had a great time at WWE, but that was only because I was hammered out of my mind. But one of the things I said on my review that I'll say now is the feeling of being at WWE. It feels like you're on a game show. It feels like you're watching a televised event. Like they care more about the TV than you. You're there, but you're like their sheep. Like, do this, do that, and now we're cutting the commercial and you have to sit through it.
Yeah, wow,
AEW went around with some mics and like we're like, come on, get up, like let's go, we're gonna record your voice. But like there was no point where I felt like, oh, we're on a commercial break. Like, oh, this is a commercial break. Oh, well, I'll just sit here and they're playing.
Yeah, because we were complaining how when they went to commercial at times, there was some really important like maneuvers and moves pulled off. So
yeah, no, they like, dude,
that picture-in-picture was a hindrance at times, but better to see it than not see it at all.
Yeah, even with picture-in-picture WWE, it's like when you're there live, it feels like you are in a studio. It feels like the number one thing is TV. And then you are number 2. The live experience is number 2. With
WWE slows down greatly when even with the picture-in-picture, you know they're in like that's when the rest holds come out and.
Yeah, with AEW, yeah, well, that's from watching on TV. That's more like I'm just saying like more for, yeah, but you're right, live too, I guess, but more from the perspective of I felt like I saw a show that was put on for me, the live crowd, but on TV, you would have never noticed that. It looked just as good as anything else. So you didn't lose anything on TV, really. Maybe a little bit, but we didn't notice. And the live experience is better because of how they treat everything like you're number one. And then yeah, people are getting to see what we're doing here live on TV, but they're lucky they're getting to see what we're doing here on TV. Whereas WWE, it's like, we're doing TV, everybody. Come on, we're doing TV. Like that, it's a different. That's my best description of it. But you know, I've been to a lot of WWE events. I've been to a lot of wrestling shows, and this was one of the top ones. I would say maybe top 5 events I've ever been to. I would say like there's been a couple WWE live events, non-televised and televised, you know, that I've been to that were really good. And then there was an ECW event that I drove to, like sneaking out of my house back in 1998 or something, or 7 that I went to. It felt like so crazy that I was there, and it was wild because of that. But yeah, I'd put this in the top 5, 6, 7 that I've ever been to because it was so unique and different and new, and like just crazy. I didn't even put my badge on. It's like a sticker thing. I didn't put it on because I'm gonna save it because it's the second televised show ever. Imagine you had the second WWE televised show ever, like some kind of memorabilia from it. Like, this is unbelievable.
Now, at any point did you get to do any VIP stuff, like get to go in the back and like get to talk with any wrestlers, or were you not? Were you just there to watch the show, or because I know you were kind of like press at one point?
He got to swallow Cody firsthand.
I sucked Cody off. No, they canceled the media thing, so unfortunately it went from like oh yeah, so the media thing will happen, and then they kind of said, oh, there's going to be no media at all today, nothing. So just enjoy the show and whatever else. And so that was, so I was fine. I mean, yeah, I'd like to do that. I did get to talk to some of the guys. I talked to a couple of the guys outside and stuff like that. And one of the guys said hi to me, so that was cool. Somebody else didn't know who I was, but I talked to him anyway, and it was fun. And we said hi, and I talked about some things with some people, but that was more me and them, not really a VIP thing or something like that you're saying. But the guy next to me was really the other guy was disappointed because he had all these questions and shit. Like he was a reporter from a website, whereas more of I will report on things, but I wasn't going there to get all these questions answered. I had a few things in my mind that I was going to ask them about, but he was like had a list of like I'm gonna hit on this and that, and he was just devastated that he came out there and they didn't have anything. But no, it was just a fun time. Other than that, dude, mostly it was meeting. Again, the funnest thing was seeing this new company launch itself and be live on TV and seeing the way the crowd was excited and seeing how they shot everything and how they're doing it. And I enjoyed it better live than on TV. I actually, unfortunately, I don't mean to criticize, but unfortunately the television production was, I thought, a step back from last week. I thought the show was better this week, but I thought the production on TV, they really missed a lot of stuff, and I hope they know that. And the commentary was a little bit of a step back too, which is weird because last week the commentary I was like, oh, we're going to be good. We're going to be just fine. This is great. But this week, commentary took a little step back to me. The TV production took a little step back to me, but it was still great, 8 out of 10. And meeting the listeners, meeting the fans of the show and the friends that we have and the donators, people I saw, dude, I ran into like fucking 30 people, and it was a lot of fun, and that was the funnest part. I even ran into a guy who called you out, Tommy. It was kind of funny. You'll see it. You're gonna like the vlog tomorrow, Tommy. It's like it's a long vlog, man. It's like 35-40 minutes, and it's insane. You're gonna love the vlog tomorrow.
Starts with Joe in the shower and gets right into the magic.
It ends with a cum shot.
Oh yeah.
Jeez. But it looks like you had a lot of fun, man. I was watching on Twitter, and I was trying to look for you. I was watching. It's like, where would they put Joe? And then I looked on Twitter, and I realized you weren't even near like the camera. Like you weren't even near the camera spot. And I was like, oh, Joe's off in the side, like area where the entryway is. And I was keeping my eye out for you.
Yeah, you wouldn't have seen me for sure. Like, very lucky to get there with the tickets being sold. There was a couple tickets available still, but they weren't available. Really, it was resellers. People made us think about that.
Yeah, a lot of it was scalped, they said. And you could see, open seats. People had tried to get those tickets, and the arenas are doing a lot to try and combat that, where they actually, get rid of the seats and then resell them themselves, and it's just so hard to fight against.
Yeah, it's really nothing. Everybody's had, somebody asked Tony Khan about that last week, and he was like, well, I mean, everybody has that problem. They wanted
to put a limit of 4 tickets per purchase instead of 8. And then there's no point, though, because then scalpers just have multiple people buying tickets or multiple IDs or multiple accounts. So it just hinders the people that want to sit together.
Right.
Joe, how do you feel that the fact that you basically interviewed the modern Vince McMahon of AEW, how does that make you feel, that the fact that you got that shot to interview a future kind of like Vince McMahon of
I'd say Cody's more like if you're comparing it to WWE, he's more like the Triple H, I guess, because Vince is like Tony Khan, the billionaire.
Oh, okay.
Tony Khan is the guy with the billions of dollars who owns the company. Cody's kind of like the guy who's kind of running it a little bit. I mean,
it's basically like he's like Triple H. Okay.
Yeah. So Tony calls the shots. Tony, in the end, calls the shots. I'm sure all the wrestlers are putting all their input in, and Tony's probably going with most of what they say. But in the end, Tony does make the final decision on everything.
Tony's the Ted Turner of today, basically.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
But you know what? At least we know that no sponsors are going to get in the way and affect AEW like they did with WCW, because that's what happened with WCW. Was a sponsor came in and said, we don't like this violence, and they shut it down because of that. We know that the fact that he's not going to be affected by a conglomeration.
What the fuck are you talking about, Tommy? Yeah, dude. I mean, it's TV 14, but I know what you're saying. There's no like board of stockholders or anything like that. And there's no Fox, because, WWE, if they were to do something crazy, they'd have to go through, the Fox executives, the USA Network people, the stockholders, the parents of the TV, PG, whatever the fuck else they're doing. So, yeah, I get what you're saying. There's less of a filter. It's like they're deciding, like they've been given, hey, you listen, TV 14. You're TV 14, whatever you can do in those realms, it's up to you guys what you want to represent and do. So, like, yeah, the ball's in their court. They can kind of make decisions right away. There's not like 700 channels that they have to go through, and on top of that, nothing's overscripted. Everything in WWE is so overscripted. WWE can never compete with this creativity because they're so overscripted. It's horrible.
Yeah, Jon Moxley cut a hell of a promo in the build up to last night's show. It was on Twitter. And he just talks about, you can tell how it's all right from his head, and he speaks so freely how, if you don't show up to the dance, you don't have a right to comment. And that's exactly what I did. I didn't show up. I didn't make it to my fight. So 6 weeks, you've all had a chance to tell me that, I'm a broken man and I'm not able to come back, and I'm not 100% now, and my elbow isn't 100%. Well, I'll show you my elbow's 100% when I drive it through your face in the mat. Like, you just had that raw tenacity that's been missing. Well, I was so amped up from a 1:30 promo. It's like, hot damn, we don't get any of this. Instead, burn it down. What does that do for you?
You know what?
What does that make?
You know what Moxley should have done? He should have started reading the medical facts and dangers of MRSA. He should have been like, and if you're not careful, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off. And I'm going to open up your mouth, your unconscious mouth, and then I'm going to jam my elbow, and I'm going to run it all across, and I'm going to make you suck on the MRSA, and you're going to have MRSA in your mouth. They're going to have to pull out your tongue, your teeth, your inside esophagus, and everything, because I'm not only going to beat you in the ring, but I'm going to give you the MRSA that I have. And then he starts, like, ripping it with his fingernails. Dude, it's fucking... MRSA is fucking scary. Like, I'm actually surprised all he has is a Band-Aid on that arm. Because if he was wearing a patch, a lot of times that means like they can't guarantee it's not out of you. And if you're wrestling with people, that's how you get it. You give it to people easily. It's really scary. It's a dangerous fucking thing.
And you're never rid of it. You just flare up.
Now, he may just have the Band-Aid on there because he's got a scar from the surgery, and when he rubs on it, it might sting and hurt really badly. The scar.
I think that's more likely if they cleared him to come back.
Probably what it really is, because I did see some people saying, like, well, you got to be careful with the MRSA. Well, to wrestle in a wrestling ring, knowing you could get busted open, tear things up, you're rubbing up close with people, I'm assuming that, and he probably has the money to do it, so it's like the follow-up testing probably happened. He probably...
Oh, absolutely, because if he gets busted open in any capacity, he puts other people at risk. And,
right.
So, Tommy, what was your favorite...
Tommy's playing with a fidget spinner.
What was your favorite match or moment from the night last night?
I would say all the matches were my favorite. Like, I enjoyed watching.
Which one in particular? You got to pick one. Gun to your head.
But I'm just saying I enjoyed it.
Wow, Tommy.
Oh, jeez.
What do you mean, jeez? What match did you like?
I gotta say, the promo delivered by the champion, I gotta say, was an amazing promo, and because the people kept saying, "We the people, we the people," and how the fact that Chris just said, "Whoa, whoa, 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 just a second," stop chanting that, because that's just a dead, ridiculous thing that was created by WWE and, horrible creative. He's like, this is wrestling. I'm like, I thought that was an amazing kick to the face for WWE, saying that basically people are chanting something that they did in WWE. Now they're in AEW and they're still trying to chant that, but Jericho's like, you need to stop saying that, basically.
So did you watch Dynamite or a Twitter highlight?
I watched Dynamite last night.
What'd you think of Jon Moxley and Shawn Spears match?
Oh, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was on the edge and entertaining, just absolutely to the max.
Were you upset that Moxley lost or no?
Yeah, I was. Wait a minute, are you trying to catch me there or something?
What do you mean?
No, I'm
catch
just asking.
Catch you with what?
Sometimes I don't know. Nothing.
Well, what was the lot? What do you mean? Catch you with what?
Nothing. It's nothing.
Well, I mean, yeah, but what it is, what it is. But so, what do you think that? I mean, are you shocked about it? Are you shocked about how he lost that match? How Moxley lost?
Yeah, I was kind of shocked because there's a lot of build up for Moxley, and but it's just, I guess he's just a senior guy.
Once Kenny Omega came out with the barbed wire and hit him with it, you knew it was all over.
Yeah, I definitely saw that part. Like, I definitely saw where Kenny Omega came out with gave him a choice, and the other dude came. What?
You're half right, but you saw him come out with it, and he threw the bat to him. Yeah, that was a cool moment.
You know what? I was mad about that moment, though. I said this in my review.
Really?
No, not about. Well, here's what I was mad about. Let me tell you what I was mad about.
Yeah, I heard what you said before, but I wanted you to clarify this a little more too. So.
Oh, so the commentating, like.
The way they kind of haphazardly sold it.
Like Neville comes out, hits Kenny in the back of the head, and takes him out, and the commentators didn't really talk about like that at all. And then as Moxley stood over him with the bat, Jim Ross said something like, "Well, there's chairs and barbed wire everywhere," and then Moxley turned around and left, and they were like, and then they went to a commercial, but nobody ever said like, here we go, like, now we're ready for, like, something violent's about to happen here. This is dangerous. Barbed wire on the ramp, Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley. This isn't supposed to happen, but it could be a bloodbath right now. And then Neville hits him in the back of the head, and they should have been like that son of a bitch, Pac. Pac came out of nowhere. He ruined this. These fans were ready to see something. And then one of the announcers could have been like, ready to see what, a massacre? You should thank Pac for interfering with this before somebody got really hurt. Really hurting. He hit him in the back of the head.
What do you think was going to happen?
Why don't you put your application and see if you can be one of those people?
Because no one's going to hire me, Tommy. Nobody likes me. Nobody's going to hire me. And so that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. Their buddies are working there, all this stuff. But the bottom line is, it's not good. Somebody should have put over the fact that, Moxley, he's going to maim Kenny Omega right now, Moxley's not going to do it. He wants to have a fair fight. He wants to have a fair fight, Jim. Well, he's an idiot. He should have clocked him while he was down, That's where a heel announcer would have really helped. But even if there wasn't a heel announcer, they should have really gotten over that Pac is the bad guy, the dickhead. And also that Jon Moxley wouldn't do it because it wasn't fair. And so and these fans aren't happy right now because they wanted to see a brutal war with Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, and when are we going to get it now? All because Pac had to insert himself and sucker Kenny Omega in the back of the head with a chair shot. But none of that was put over. None of that. Why? Go listen to it. It's fucking amazing. I don't know.
Yeah. And, you heard Pac the entire time, and he was just hitting on another level. At first, I was like, I'm not so sure. And then he just got into it. And he was making these valid points of how, he's been so dominant, and that should be him. It shouldn't be Cody. He should be highlighted. He should be in the center of the ring right now. Just everything that he said, he backed up with facts and real, statistics and, fair play to him. And he's right. He's done a great job so far. He's held his own, and he is a evil bastard. And he proved it by clocking Kenny Omega from behind while he was distracted. And that chair shot looked great. They chucked the chair at Jake Hager at one point. I was like, oh, that's such a great moment. And he blocks it. Like you said, why can't we get those chair shots?
It looked awesome.
Yeah, the WWE is always, they have to slam it on the ground or they have to hit you in the back with it. Well, you can block and protect yourself. You've said this for years now, and finally we're getting that back. And there was a lot of hardcore-esque things that happen at times that are so small and simple, but it's devastating. The Young Bucks, when they did the power bomb on the ramp on the outside, that was a great spot.
Unfortunately, that ramp isn't steel. It would have been nice if it was steel. That ramp's like some kind of plastic.
It's like I forget the actual name of it, but
now, do you feel like Michael Cole would have been able to carry that announcement if he had been working for AEW? You think he could have been able to carry that?
No.
Well, maybe, but here's the problem with the announce team is
no.
I don't like.
He needs Vince.
I don't like Michael Cole's announcing. I'd never liked it. I think Michael Cole is very smart. I don't like his announcing. But the bottom line is there's 3 play-by-play guys on the microphone, and it's very strange. Tony Schiavone's coming in saying something here or there. Excalibur's coming in saying something here or there, and then JR is saying things here or there, and they're all the same type of guy. But they're all needed because they're all quiet a lot, and Excalibur is the one backing off, I think. So they either need a heel announcer to take one of their spots, or they need another guy who can just take over the main commentary of the storytelling. And because other than that, we're just getting like, JR kind of says these little quips like, well, it's a hell of a brawl right now, or like, dial up insurance. Like he says like stuff like that, and it's cool. But then Tony Schiavone comes in with little facts that are nice and good. And then Excalibur comes in with little technical notes and stuff like that. But they need someone to drive, man. They really need someone to drive that commentary. And then if they don't have someone to drive the commentary, they could use a heel announcer to push them. And I think a heel announcer to push them being like, well, I know that someone said, well, Jim Ross said, well, it could have been a lot worse if Neville didn't come out here. Yeah, I know he sort of said that randomly, but that's a tweener thing to say. There should have been somebody who was like,
overstating this,
thank God for Neville, or this would have been a bloodbath. And then somebody else should have said, thank God for Neville. These people were out of their seats ready to see the war that they were about to experience with Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, and then that son of a bitch Pac just ruined it for everybody. And it's like, dude, and then someone could have been like, you're sick. Like, you're sick, aren't you? Like, you're a sick person. Well, eventually we're going to get it someday. And we would have gotten it tonight if not for Pac, but Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley, that's not over. And now that Pac has inserted himself in, what does this mean? Moxley's not, and then blah, 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 clear commercial break. But none of that was given. I'm nitpicking. I admit, this is kind of nitpicking. Like, I still loved the show.
But it's
8
criticism,
out of 10.
It's not hate.
Yeah, no, it's not hate at all. I think they're all, I love Jim Ross. I love Tony Schiavone and Excalibur. I like Excalibur. I think he's great too, but I just think that what I'm vibing on with them is it could be, and someone was like, well, they're new and everything. Yeah, but last week they were better, and this week it was like, I don't know, there was these little points where it was like, why didn't that, what are you talking about? They were talking about like, look at all the carnage all over the floor. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you talking about chairs and everything all over the floor? Why aren't you talking about Pac's an asshole and Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega was about to make the Boston Aganis Arena explode? Like, I mean, I don't know. I just want to be.
One other thing that I was somewhat concerned about, I knew that Moxley had to win walking out of there yesterday, and they couldn't obviously really afford another, draw or, screw job finish. But I am worried about Spears. He's had 2 high, caliber profile losses here. Lost to Cody. That killed that feud instantly. Now with, losing to Moxley, I'm really not sure. Hopefully they have something for him, because he really is such a great heel. We've seen that, he really generates heat nicely from the crowd, and he's interesting, especially having Tully in his corner.
That was cool. Did you see Tully take a headbutt from Dean?
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious. I don't know if Dean did that on purpose, but Dean went into Tully, and Tully grabbed his eye and fell out of the ring. Whether it was on purpose or not, or he really hit him, I don't know, but it was hilarious, dude. That was funny. Tully went down in a heap and rolled out of the ring.
What they say, Joe? No one wins in a headbutt.
Pretty much.
And for that, I'm going to hang up on you. See you later, Tommy NC 2010. Thank you for calling. And
a little bit of the bubbly.
Have a little bit of the bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly. Bubbly.
Yeah.
Mark Quinn, best shooting star in the biz.
Apollo the Leader, thank you for the $3, man. Absolute beautiful, beautiful shooting star press. He went up, man. I almost like jerked. Like seriously, it was a very
that was nuts. Yeah,
it was a sexy shooting star press, man. He did it with such ease and elevation, and then he was like a damn airplane or something. It was crazy. It was really nice, man. It really was a nice one. Thank you, Apollo the Leader.
There was something else that. Oh, when he did the dives to the outside too, that got the crowd.
Oh,
really
when he did the spaceman or whatever you call it,
yeah,
that was sick.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. That's
Want
it.
some bubbly?
Bubbly.
Look at this stuff. A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Next week on Raw, when a sudden pink flash of light blinds Seth the Fiend appears from the rafters wearing a tutu and slides down a colorful rainbow into the ring, knocking Seth unconscious with a small Barbie doll. There will only be 2 days until Dynamite.
Yeah, Houseman, thank you for the $3. I mean, we're in for torture every week now, and it's like we're tortured trying to get to the middle of the week. We're like tortured getting the hump day. Yeah, Billy Kidman had one of the best shooting star presses. I agree, but yeah, I love Billy Kidman's.
Here we go, about to get it, man. Here
Back
we go.
is killing me.
Here we go. Oh, no!
I can't find that tweet
Look
from
up
Moxley.
J.K. Gar's MMA opponents. Can't take him serious.
Yeah.
With tears of joy, AEW is good. I feel NXT needs more exposure. They need to bring back showcase matches.
King's Rage, thank you for that donation, Kings. You are a beast, brother. Yeah, let me pause real quick on the donations for a second and just say, yeah, it really feels like, and I was always a big NXT guy. I said they were the ones to beat. Like, somebody has to beat them. And if they could put together some storylines and backstage stuff that other people don't do, they would just take it all away. But it really feels like they're limited now. They have been exposed now because competing with AEW it's just different. I don't know, man. It's that shiny new toy feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's NXT feels like it's in somebody's closet or something. It doesn't feel
It is on a smaller scale, and it feels to be on a smaller scale. Even just now, being the only one that doesn't have pyro. I sent it to you on Facebook, and I did tag you in on Twitter, that promo.
Now, they have better music, really, in NXT, and that's one of the things that AEW needs.
The music is more defining. Like, when you hear a song, 9 times out of 10, immediately I know, like, oh, this is so-and-so. I know this theme. The crowd sings along. The only theme that stands out, obviously, is Judas for Jericho. Everyone else kind of
I think Cody's does.
Oh, yeah, Cody's. I forget about
Cody's,
his as well.
Jericho's, and I think Darby Allin's is, like, okay for him. I think Darby's okay. And
I like Havoc's, but...
Havoc's, I think, is worse than Darby's, but they're both pretty decent for them.
Yeah, because they both have that dark and brooding kind of...
I mean, Havoc's is AFI ripoff, which he loves AFI, so that makes sense. I think he should come out
AFI
to...
as well, so maybe that's why I like it, but
I think
it has that feel to it.
He should reach out to AFI and get the I Hope You Suffer song.
Oh, that would be cool.
That would be.
There's a few tracks that would work well.
There's a lot, yeah, no doubt about it. But I just happen to like.
But the thing is, like, they need either some more custom songs, or they need to reach out to artists and get licensing agreements, because it is, creative create a wrestler theme 2, generic theme 3. For a lot of them, it feels that way. Yeah, even if some of them have like a distinguishing or defining sound in the beginning, and then all of a sudden the rest of it just goes into that same old beat and stuff, like Sammy Guevara's theme, and there's quite a few like, oh, this is just a hip hop beat, this is just a Britt Baker's, like in the intro you're like, okay, that's a bit more defining, and then all of a sudden it just goes to a generic sounding entrance theme.
Is this Joey Janela's song? Let me see if this is Joey Janela. Is this it? I don't think that's what he's going with now. I don't know what his song is. Is this it? Maybe this is it. This is... That's like his old song. I don't know if that's what he's going with now. But yeah, I mean, even his... Like, and listen, people can say, who gives a shit? it means a lot. I'm telling you, it means a lot. These theme songs mean a lot, and they create crowd participation, which creates reaction right away, which creates buzz, which creates excitement, and it carries on. And I'm telling you, this music is very important, and it's not the worst right now, but it's definitely WCW-esque that they need to go out and figure out a way to get everybody's themes elevated.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, Walter's theme is great in NXT. You know, when you hear that, you know, certain obviously Undisputed Era, you know, pretty much everybody has an excellent theme song that is character defining and gets the crowd amped up. So that's the thing. That's the one place they're lacking in right now.
Did you see? I'm going to take us off topic, so if you want to keep it going.
Yeah, just really quick. Dark matches. I won't give the results, but you know, you had Kenny Omega and Joey Janela in a really
wait till you see
hardcore unsanctioned fight. I saw the ending to it, and holy hell!
Joey Janela explodes through a table in this match. You guys wait till AEW Dark comes out. It's fucking good. Like, it's not the best thing ever, but it was good, man. Joey Janela took some shots.
Absolutely. I mean, they were out for blood, it seemed. They really beat each other. Then you had Hybrid 2 and the Dark Order taking on SCU and SEMA, and then Kip Sabian and Peter Avalon and Sonny Kiss in a triple threat. So.
Oh, I saw this promo with Moxley, the one coming in the building?
Yeah, where he first walks into the building, and he goes right through security. They're like, we need to check your bag. We need to check your bag. And it goes all the way through, and then he gets right into, like close to ringside.
I did see this, but
and he starts going off. It's so good.
It's good, but I think everybody's seen this. Haven't you guys all seen this? Maybe you didn't.
Sir, can I check your bag, please? Sir.
By the way, that's not how security should act. They should tackle him right there.
Yeah.
That's
got a bomb?
Yeah, he's even got a bag. This is how I'm going to get into the shows. I'm going to demand they put me on heel commentary now. Well, speaking of news on that real quick, the promoter that's doing one of these events that I've been doing, the promoter for this new promotion, has decided that he wants me to do heel commentary. He wants me to do color commentary. So interesting. So that's
that plays out.
That's going to be different. Yeah, it's not what I expected, but okay. I'm down. Well, I don't know if it's heel yet. I know it's color though. My bad. Could be wrong.
See where I come from. If you don't even show up to the fight, well, you forfeit your right to talk trash. If you don't even make the walk, then you don't have the right to say anything about anything. In Chicago, I didn't make the walk. So for 6 weeks, I better sit back and listen to everybody in the world say whatever they want about me, about my health. They want to call me damaged goods. Seems like every punk ass in this industry has an opinion. They want to talk a big game, they want to type a big game, but the things they're going to do to me in the ring while I'm laid up in a hospital, huh? Yeah, okay. Tully Blanchard wants to act like he knows a damn thing about me. Shawn Spears says he's gonna take me out. You gonna take me out, huh? Shawn Spears says my elbow isn't 100%. Well, we're gonna find out if it's 100%. Because for every second of every minute of this match, I'm gonna be trying to drive it through your skull. I gave you 6 weeks! I gave you all 6 weeks! Y'all had your fun.
I can't believe this wasn't on TV, actually. It's pretty long, but...
I wish it opened the show.
Now it's my turn.
Wow.
So good.
That should have opened the show. That was it.
So good.
He cut it right, too. Like, wow, how did the show open? It opened with the tag team match.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they
had just the, regular theme song pyro tag team.
It's about 1 minute and 55 seconds long. I really do think that they should have opened the show with that. That was great. That was
so good.
I
hate to gush and I'm not one that uses hyperbole and all that. It was the best ever. But
no, it wasn't
really?
It wasn't that crazy. It's just that it was.
No, but it was so good because that's something.
They
that's
needed
the thing,
that.
Joe. It's not the best ever, but it is because we haven't seen these type of things in ages. It feels like.
But also.
We're not getting these types of promos and energetic reactions and unscripted, just thoughts flowing from a creative place. we get this scripted nonsense that people stumble over because there's no passion in it. That oozed passion. That made me believe everything that he said. I felt the pain in his voice when he was claiming, others labeling him as damaged goods. Just by the way, his eyes locked with the camera there. We don't get that anymore. We don't have any emotion. We don't get to feel compassion for the wrestlers.
I thought the most important thing about that, to me, what I got out of that was that it reminded me of what was going on with Tully Blanchard and Shawn Spears and everything that Dean had gone through, and now he's back. So it kind of it got me back to everything that was going on that was much needed. But yeah, it's too bad that was on social media. That should have been on the show.
Even Jimmy Havoc, you can tell that it wasn't scripted, that he was trying to convey a specific message, and it came across well. That's why next week we saw the building blocks of Riho and Britt Baker after the tag match. So the tag match wasn't great, but everything that took place afterwards is just building for that storyline. Next week we get a title fight.
Right.
We're also going to see SCU take on Best Friends. We're going to get, Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix. They'll take on Jurassic Express. And then Jericho's taking on Darby Allin for the AEW Championship. He's going to defend his title there. That's incredible. That's going to be in Philly. That's going to be a huge show.
Well, now that we know...
It's only getting better.
Well, now that we know the ratings for this week, AEW wins again. What do you think? What do you think about next week? Do you think that we're going to see the AEW ratings fall below 1 million?
No, I think it's going to be pretty much the same as this week.
I
think NXT might fall a little bit more, though.
Yeah, I think NXT might go down to 750-ish.
That's exactly what I was going to say, 750. I don't think it's going to drop much, just a
and then
couple 10,000 here or there.
I think you're right about. I think AEW will stick around probably 1.11 million. They'll be above 1 million, I still think.
Yeah. And like I said too, this week with NXT, we didn't have hardly. We had Drew Gulak, Leo Rush. Good match. It was Rush though. It was. They gave him 8 minutes of TV time, and part of it, half of it, it felt like was in a commercial.
Yeah,
I know it's the picture-in-picture break, but still, there was some imperative things happening in that picture-in-picture moment. So you missed, out of an 8-minute match, 3 minutes of its picture-in-picture. You only got 5 minutes of TV time, and that was your introductory moment. So why do you need to cut to any commercial? Wait for if it's only 8 minutes, wait till the match is over. There's Raws where you give us a 25-minute opening of Seth Rollins burning it down with Braun's getting these hands. And then they go to commercial. So then we had, a very, very, very short Rhea Ripley match. And I know she needed a squash there to look more dominant with everything that they're setting up with her, going to be attacking Shayna Baszler and going for, her NXT women's title. But, expecting a squash, it's just, I was hoping for a little bit more from that. Then we got the funny construction workers taking on the Forgotten Sons. That wasn't the intended match, obviously. So I was okay with that. But again, that's only 3 minutes long. And then Cameron Grimes defeats Boa in 8 seconds, I think it was. So again, we've had 3 super short matches, a minute long, 3 minutes, and now 8 seconds after an 8-minute opening. So last week you go from these incredible matches. I mean, top notch, some of my favorites of the year. And one hell, Adam Cole killing it with Matt Riddle. And now you get squash finishes and people you don't really know. You haven't seen most of any of these people so far if you're new to the USA world of NXT. And then we did get Roderick Strong, and he's taking on Isaiah Scott. Okay, that was 10 minutes long, but really that was just leading to the Velveteen Dream promo. So the match was okay. And then we get Dakota Kai, and she's taking on Bianca Belair. It was okay. It was a good match, but I don't know. It felt like it was missing something for me personally. I know some people thought a little bit higher of it. And then it all led up to Walter against Kushida. Now that was excellent, top-notch, fun to watch. They're kind of building, in my eyes, Kushida to be like that Rey Mysterio figure for NXT. That's how I'm viewing him right now.
Yeah.
Fast. They want him to be, easily recognizable and liked by the younger fans. And Walter's just this brute. So the clash of styles and how they paired these two was just really, really intense and enjoyable. Hell of a match. But again, it was only, less. It was about 12 or 13 minutes, I think, of TV time. And that was with the overrun too. So a lot of it, there was barely any promos done. There was hardly any story. The most we got, I feel, was worthwhile was Pete Dunne, and that was a video package with him responding to Damian Priest. So it was short, but he talked about holding the NXT UK title for 600 days and how he's going to break his finger, stuff like that. So I mean, they didn't have the personability like AEW had. And I hate to gush over AEW as much as I am this week, but it really was. There was just such a contrast between these two shows. The week before, it was less night and day. Both were highly enjoyable. This week, it was like, wow, NXT felt a bit like a slog. It felt like, it used to be on the network where I could have just missed this week and I could have came back next week and it would have played no part to anything. And when you have a title change and you say that in the night, something's missing.
Yeah, something just didn't feel right about NXT, man. Like, there's something about it that's like, I'm so glad I didn't skip, AEW for this. And I'm not trying to be like Mr. AEW, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not trying to be that, because there could be weeks where NXT beats AEW, and maybe they'll kill them for a while or something. But like right now, it's kind of like, the best effort they have, the best chance they have at feeling like they won with the fans is by putting on the better wrestling. But then outside of that, they don't have the excitement and the big factor that AEW has, and so they're in trouble, I think.
Cocksucker, suck the cock. I'm allowed to talk forever. I got a fucking dick. I'm not allowed to talk as long as everybody else. Fuck you, fucking cocksucker. Suck your own dick tonight, dick.
Jesus. Tickle my anus, tickle my anus. Tickle my anus, tickle my anus.
Yeah.
Tickle my anus. Tickle my anus. No thank you, I already got mine tickled this morning. Fuck Debe.
Thank you for donating under my real legal name. That's bizarre, but thank you for the $11. I appreciate it. Unlike JD, I'm not going to flip out. He gets really mad when people call him his real name. It's weird. Don't give it out, though,
Samsonite?
Yeah, Dingleberries. It's a weird name, Who would name their kid Dingleberries? Thank you for the donation, Daniel Joseph Cronin. Appreciate it.
That's why he calls himself JD. He's already known as Dingleberry Samsonite.
Tom Inc. 7 Nicks.
Sasha's Mouthblood, thanks for the $5, becoming a $5 shit bum. Yeah, Tommy has about 7,000 necks. I mean, I thought I was getting fat, but Tommy is really...
I don't have much room to talk, but, at least I got a
No, but he has more than you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
and
I mean?
I guarantee I'm bigger. But
he walks everywhere. He has the luxury of being able to walk and all kinds of shit. Like, everywhere. Like
I got to wheel my ass to the fridge. He can't even,
Yeah. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, this guy can go all kinds of places. By the way, here's Soundwave 92 for the people wondering. Yeah. That's him right there in the middle. Soundwave right in the middle there.
What if the turkeys hate us? What if they fillet us?
Oh shit, Triple M!
Turkeys!
Get the fuck up! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
What if the turkeys ate us? What if they filleted us?
I'm gonna take calls in a few minutes.
The turkeys ate us. If they had to hate us, Thanksgiving was a little bit different. Instead, the turkeys ate us. They gobbled us apart. But first they'd eat our nuts.
Joey Janela.
And then they'd eat our butt. The turkeys ate us. What if the turkeys ate us? What if the turkeys...
Happy birthday, man. Wait till you guys hear about what Joey Janela talked about with Big Cass earlier. Creepy shit. Dude was chasing him around saying he had a gun. Like, where are you, Joey, bad boy? Like, what the fuck?
Instead of mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Instead the turkeys ate us.
Happy birthday to me, it's my birthday, gimme a kiss.
Mwah.
Sent you link to my Twitch on Twitter PM, love you guys and you're welcome chat.
Oh, hell yeah, Triple M. Happy birthday, you sex machine. You are without a doubt a sex machine. Here's Triple M. Thanks, bro.
Happy birthday.
It's me and my buddy Scotty at different Scott at AEW. There's
gotta specify with that name.
Here's my press pass thing. That's pretty cool.
So cool.
That's going up on eBay tomorrow. $100. First ever. No, I'm just kidding. Appreciate AEW. Thank you very much, Cody, and thank you, everybody. It was a great night. I definitely recommend. Tickets on sale today. Did you get them, Texas? Texas, what the fuck are you doing? Tickets go on sale today. Probably not till like the morning or something like that. But tickets on sale. Check your area. Texas, you can drive to this AEW show. It's going to be nuts. They're new tickets.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Bubbly.
Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's
it.
Tommy, listen up, you cuck fuck. Get down on your fucking knees and rejoice, for your god's name is Joe Cronin. Crystal deserves a better class of cock and I'm gonna give it to her. What the fuck is happening to my asshole? Yeah.
Golden Eye Productions, thanks for the $3, man. Yeah, one of the things about Joey is people are always like, why do you treat Joey? You know, Joey technically, he says he wanted to sucker punch Enzo. He goes, let's go beat up Enzo for no reason. That was like his whole thing. Like, what a weird fucking dude.
Yeah,
we are alike.
No, I wouldn't hit you for real.
Dude, me and Janela drinking out one night would be nuts. We would die probably, to be honest.
That would be bad.
Yeah.
Tendinitis in your tricep and elbow sucks. It sucks almost as bad as the character models in WWE 2K20. Can't wait to see how AU does in their first PPV after being on TV.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. DC Derek USA, thank you for the 666. The king of the fucking wrestling shows right now is TakeOver as far as those go. So yeah, now AEW has to like get up to that level too, because that's. But the one thing again, like we said about AEW, is like there's something for everyone, and that's the thing I noticed about being there. There's different matches happening all night, and whereas NXT they just kind of go out and kill it.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it. Want some bubbly?
Bubbly.
Look at this stuff. Oh,
a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Brother Negro, I knew you'd come. Inside Lana. He'll pound away and classify myself as the father. Shit.
Did you see that Chris Jericho got a gift bag from the seltzer drink company, Bubbly? They sent him a huge bubbly bag that says a little bit of the bubbly. Chris Jericho's a little bit of the bubbly bag. And they sent him all different, like, you know, branded stuff from Bubbly. So that was pretty funny. They cashed in on that one.
He said it once at the end of his promo last night, and the place, like, blew up. They were like,
yeah. Place went nuts.
Like, here we go, baby. It's Bubbly! That should be his next song that comes out. It should be like, I wanted a little bit of the bubbly! The bubbly. I swear to God,
that'll be his face theme, you know.
No, I like rock, like oh my God, what would he do? He'd come out there and he would go a little bit something like this. The new Fozzy song, Bubbly.
I was leaving a show. I knew I had to go to the bar. I had to get myself a drink because I'm a star. A little bit of the bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly. Little bit of the bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly. Drinking all night. It's a little bit of the bubbly, of the bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly. A little bit of the bubbly. I grab a hooker. I grab some pills. I grab a little bit bubbly. And When I drink the bubbly, I feel so goddamn sexy. When I drink the bubbly, all my pain just goes away. I drink a bit of the bubbly. I drink a bit of the bubbly. I don't know, something like that. Anyway, my voice is all fucked up from the show last night, as you can tell. Dude, I lost my voice last night. I lost my fucking voice. But dude, Fozzy, Jericho, fucking bubbly. That's your next single. All right, mark it down, bro. Something like that. Probably something more energetic than that. And I'm sorry that my voice is fucked up. But yeah, a little bit of the bubbly. Make it a song. Come on, Jericho. You know what has to happen. Here comes a beer.
You were right about Janela, though, because he was talking with Young Bucks on Wrestlers on the Road Ordering Room Service, the show they were doing for the behind the scenes of the Elite. And he talked about running into Enzo backstage once again. And, he's like, no, I really meant to hit you, dude. I was drunk. I tried to fight you.
Oh, but come back to that. I want to talk about that.
Oh my God!
Let me pause the donation.
Please don't finish it.
I'm gonna finish it.
Oh no! Oh no! Ryback, stop coming, Ryback.
Oh my ass! My JD's ass!
That Mox promo was fucking fire. Ambrose wishes he had 1/10 the motivation that Moxley does, and it makes me so glad he is back in the ring. Ironically, after he left WWE, I started following him and it made me get back into wrestling, so thank you, Moxley.
Well, to be honest, Soundwave, he didn't even have a Twitter before. He only launched a Twitter after he left, so he couldn't have followed him before anyway. Unless you meant followed like what he does, and I get what you mean then. Let me get this gum out of my mouth. I had to get some out of my teeth, so I used the gum. Yeah, Soundwave 92, man. Thank you so much, dude. And by the way, you're fucking hilarious, and it was really it was really good to meet you, man. And he's a big supporter, so thank you for that. Jake, go back to your previous thing because I don't think people heard it.
Joey was obviously talking to the Young Bucks, and Janela, he said the meeting took place a few weeks ago, and Enzo walked up to him, offered him a big hug. And Enzo asked Joey, "Are you more sober than the last time?" And he says, "We really got him. Let's make some money," thinking that it was all just a work thing. And Janela says, "No, I was drunk and I really tried to fight you." So he even says that Enzo brought, a food offering to the show for the workers and staff, trying to make good on everything. But kind of funny how Janela was like, "No, I was drunk. I really wanted to beat the shit out of you if possible."
Yeah, it's weird. Enzo thought the whole thing was a work. Enzo was like, "Yeah, we really got them and everything," and Janela was like, "Nah, I wanted to walk up and punch you." But dude,
I wanted to hit you. But this leads into what you were
why would Joey Janela want to just walk up and punch a guy? But then when
they had a bit of a back and forth on Twitter at one point.
But so does that mean Joey Janela's definitely going to assault me if he sees me?
God knows.
But no, so. But then the guy offers up, like, all right, let's go. And then Janela doesn't do anything. It was just weird. And he goes, "Yeah, the video made me look like a bitch." I'm like, well, but it's weird because you wanted to attack the guy and you did, and then eventually you square up and then you back off. So it was weird. It was like,
it was very odd. Like maybe he was drunk, got enraged, wanted to fight, and then came to his senses a little bit.
It sounds like Joey's a lot like me. Where he's like, hey, let's actually fuck around, but I really don't really want to hurt somebody, but I do kind of it's weird, dude. I can see why people were like, get Joey Janela. You guys would be hilarious. I guess, but I guess I don't get him at all. I've apologized. I've reached out to him to be like, bro, I'll say, I'm sorry, dude. I hope, if you want to punch me one time or something and that makes you feel better or whatever, cool.
Because it was all supposed to be in fun.
It was all a fucking fun thing. People wanted you on the show and whatever the fuck else. And people are like, oh, why do you always make it a big deal? Well, because the guy constantly still brings it up here or there because people still hit him up like, dude, why won't you do this? I like you and I like Joe Cronin. And then he'll be like, fuck that guy or whatever.
Or he'll block people.
Or he'll block you. Yeah, he'll block you. It's weird. Like what the fuck?
And
this
is coming after September. I think it was the 15th. He sent out a tweet talking about the direct tweet was, "I'm not going to elaborate at this time about this whole ordeal, but it was probably the most bizarre situation I've ever seen, let alone been a part of in a wrestling locker room in 15 years." He said everything was cordial and friendly originally, and then shit happened. I hope the dude gets back on the right track. And
well, that's weird, dude. The Big Cass shit is scary. Going around being like,
so now we hear more of the details of it, and we're like, oh, because originally it was just the Blink-182 concert. Him and Enzo had a problem, and then him and Big Cass, had that issue backstage. So Big Cass was reportedly walking around backstage because he thought somebody had stolen some of his belongings. And then he spit in Pat Buck's face, allegedly. And then Buck punched Big Cass, allegedly. And, this is all, that prompted WrestlePro to ask police officers to intervene and take Cass outside, where he remained for the rest of the show. So, I mean, that whole thing was odd. Obviously, we were waiting to get more details. And then you went ahead and brought more of the interesting or bizarre aspects of this to light in your news update earlier. So I don't know if you want to explain more of that.
Joey does say it all on the Being the Elite episode in the interview or just Hangout. It's like a podcast with the Young Bucks. And this is why a lot of these guys don't do shows, because they get their own one. But it's like, Big Cass was going around saying he had a gun, I guess, Joey Janela said. And then he said that he was like, hey, bad boy, where are you? And he was like looking around for him, like in the locker room, being like, I'm going to kill you and shit. And they hid like Joey in a room somewhere, I guess. And Big Cass is still running around looking for him, acting crazy. And it wasn't until way after that Pat Buck had to knock the guy in the face. It reminded me of my friend Jimmy.
To shoot someone and I've got a gun.
It reminds me of my buddy Jimmy, who kicked my door into my house and wanted to beat people up for no reason, said the world was ending and stuff. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking? What is going on right now?
Yeah, it is very, very, very bizarre.
Very weird. It's like a mental issue, it's for sure. So then, so that's weird. That's so bizarre. I mean, like, as a joke, because we didn't know any facts or anything at the time, I was like, oh, well, it's because of the beef with Enzo and, Joey's starting shit with everybody. I was joking when I said that, obviously. But now to know the real truth of what really happened, it's, like, really fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like, that's
now that we have
weird.
more of the details coming to light.
Hey, let's take a call, because we haven't taken many.
Yeah.
Unknown caller, hello.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
What's up, man?
No, I was asking, you know that 1984 donation you got?
Yeah.
If you look at the video closely, I think that's Drew's wife.
No, my God. Oh, damn it. Damn it. God damn it. I'm sorry, Drew. I'm sorry, man.
First call, too.
What a cow. I mean, what? Why? How? Oh,
First
my
call.
God. First fucking call. William Smith, thank you so much for the subscription, man. Welcome to the Joe Cronin Show. We love you. Take it. 941's on the phone now.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, man, what's up?
Hey, boss. Listen, all I gotta say is this, man. Like, I'm just here to spread the love, bro. I love you. I love Jake. Y'all keep doing y'all thing, man. I'm out.
All right. Love you, man.
Hell yeah. Great call.
I mean, that's not too bad because it was short and sweet. But yeah, guys, give a call up tonight and come with some questions, come with opinions. You mad at AEW? You mad at NXT? You mad at? I want to hear some shit, man. I want to hear some opinions on wrestling and questions on wrestling. These motherfuckers, sometimes they call fucking Throwdown and monetize this and like, oh, I know we're not supposed to talk about wrestling. And then on a wrestling night, we get calls like this. Bring it.
Although we always appreciate the love, but
but bring the fucking. Do people have opinions out there, or or honestly just donate it?
We haven't talked a lot of WWE, and I wonder how people feel about this. This might be a topic starter, or at least a conversation engager. The original idea, according to Wrestling Observer's newsletter, for the finish to the Hell in a Cell is that Wyatt would take a gimmick bump off the top of the cage and be unable to continue the match, and then the match would be stopped. Then, after it was stopped, he would pop up like The Undertaker and take Rollins out with a mandible claw. Do you think that would have been better than what we got?
Oh, yeah.
So Bray goes off the top of the cell.
It's just none of that needed to happen because of what they were doing. Like, none of that. I wouldn't have wanted to see it because it wasn't the time to be jumping off the cage, I don't think.
But no matter what.
Why didn't they do it?
The way they did it said the original idea of Vince McMahon was what I just said, and then Vince changed his mind and went in a different direction. But the first idea was to toss Wyatt off the Hell in a Cell structure. He would take a gimmick bump through the table or something off to the outside, and then from there, the match would be stopped because they think he wouldn't be able to continue, and then he would pop up and.
But Mick Foley continued. Mick Foley continued.
Yeah. Well, they did send a stretcher out for Foley and all that, and then Foley got off the stretcher eventually. So
I don't know. Like I guess I don't like it because
I'm not crazy about either way, but I think that would have been better than.
It would have been better because the guy would have gone off his cell. Yeah,
exactly. So at least it would have been more devastating than the shitty, impossible to see with the red light sledgehammer shot, especially when we've seen so many worse sledgehammer uses previously in WWE's history. And we've seen it, Triple H breaks it off, the head of the sledgehammer off on the back of Vince's neck, and some brutal shots have been taken, and that it didn't look great. It was, again, hard to see with that red light. They really should have called it an audible. They should have done something at that point. They never should have done the red light to begin with. I know what they were going for.
That was horrible.
But that red light was people there couldn't see shit, especially with the red cage. Why have the cage be red if you're going to have the red lights? Like all of it, it just. But they should have done something different and just said like, this needs to not happen. Please, it makes you wonder. Like, was Heyman and all these people that are supposedly on Raw, like, are they in agreement with this? Do they think this is a good idea? Is Vince just that, powerful that it's only his idea, or does anybody stand up to him, or do they all just yes him to death? Because apparently that was his idea. So the red light and the ending with the calling off of the match, that was all Vince's idea.
I do want to say we are going to talk about NWA Power in a few minutes. We will get to that. That is very important in all of this news today and what happened this week in wrestling, because it really, seeing that studio aspect to wrestling back again is really cool.
Yeah.
I like it in a different way than other. It's different. That's the one thing, is we're getting quality wrestling, but we're getting quality different styles of wrestling that are coming out, and that's the interesting thing. And definitely NWA took the promo award this week. The promos in NWA were just phenomenal. They really were on the YouTube show. I don't know what it's up to now, but I believe about somewhere around 350,000 views maybe for NWA's episode 1 of their Power show. Nick Aldis and Tim Storm cut good promos. They had good matches. Definitely a little bit different with that 70s, 60s, 80s NWA studio TV vibe to it, but really cool to see the throwback, and the throwback works nowadays anyway, so I think a lot of people really enjoyed that, and we'll talk a little bit more about that later, and I will have my full review on it tomorrow, as well as my NXT review, which won't be too long because whatever, and then of course I'm looking forward to AEW Dark. I'm going to have that review up. And again, AEW Dark next week, you're really going to like I think the Kenny Omega Joey Janela thing. The match before it was not so good. Probably the worst match of the night was that Dark match that took place right after the show, and then Kenny and Joey came out and had a good little hardcore match.
Yeah, because you had the triple threat and you had the tag match. So
yeah, and Cornette on commentary. I love Jim Cornette on commentary. As much as obviously Jim Cornette wants to kill me, I really do love him on commentary. And that's the type of guy that I think that, potentially AEW could have used maybe, but hire me though instead, AEW. Forget Cornette. He's a meathead. I applied several times for the NWA stuff too, by the way. Dressed up in a suit, going over things, everything. I did everything, and Dave Lagana was cool, but he didn't seem to care. He probably already had these guys picked out months ago. Did Dave Lagana, and then someone the other day said I wasn't good anyway, so I might suck ass. But the bottom line is I want to be doing these commentary things because I just think some of them aren't that good. But I think NWA's was great. I thought the commentary with Jim Cornette was great, and the other guy that I don't remember his name now, but I thought they were all right. I love the hosts, the guys doing the promo interviews. That guy was great. It just what a vibe NWA brought. And we have breaking news that I just saw from Daryl, our buddy Daryl Stoltz, our Sith Negan in the chat, which I don't know who released this news, but apparently Ember Moon is going to be out with an
that's on my list here. So
your list.
I've got, that's one of the things I was going to bring up. Matt the Misfit had messaged me about it earlier. So she's out of action for a while. Wrestling Observer was the one to report it, that she injured her Achilles tendon, and there's no point of return listed for her yet. She's out for a decent length of time. I mean, she's been plagued with many injuries, and this is just a really bad setback because apparently they had some plans for her with the draft. So she's not the only one that's injured either. Kushida was injured during NXT this week. Last night, he re-aggravated a wrist injury that he had previously in his match with Walter. Boa also suffered a rib injury when he faced Killian Dane. He had trouble breathing after the match. He's currently listed as day-to-day. Matt Martell, Chase Parker are also listed as day-to-day. They took a beating at the hands of the Forgotten Sons. And Martell suffered apparently a separated shoulder. He's undergoing physical therapy.
Jesus.
Parker is reported to have a possible jaw fracture. So Forgotten Sons got a bit rough.
Yeah, it sounds
and
like
hopefully those injuries, they say, will heal up soon. And then, of course, creme de la creme of all this is Sasha Banks has been pulled from the Odessa and Amarillo, Texas events this weekend. Obviously, she was not back after Hell in a Cell on Monday. She's not going to be there on Friday for SmackDown, and now she's been pulled from the live events this weekend. Obviously they're saying that it's likely that she'll miss the draft at this point, and details are not known to the extent of her injuries, though. So,
wow, that is horrible.
She is, listed as injured. So
that is really bad, man.
Yeah, and especially she just came back. This is her first, high-profile match, essentially, and there's even rumors going around that she has a better professional relationship with Vince at this point in time, and now he's finally a bit higher on her, and as far as backstage goes, but we don't know the specifics of the injury, but PW Insider, Wrestling Observer, they all just say that she's been pulled for pulled from in-ring action. Some are saying it's a back injury, but details are just really scarce. I've reached out to a few different people, and I've heard nothing concrete. I've heard just that she's been pulled, definitely. So,
oh man,
it could be something minor that they're just treating, aggressively to make sure that it's not an issue. But yeah, it's such the worst timing for right now, with it being the draft. She just got back, and she just had this really good match at Hell in a Cell with Becky. So some people are saying that it might have been the point where she landed on her back coming off of the chair when the drop kick from the apron happened, but I don't know anything specifically, so that's just allegedly, what's being said.
Unknown caller, hello.
Joe and Jake, what's up?
What's going on?
Man? Chilling. So, good wrestling this week. I'd just like to address one thing. This whole Wednesday night war, can we just say it's not really a war?
It really isn't. Doesn't feel like it.
Yeah.
Because here's my thing, and you don't have to agree, but it's kind of like, to me, if you remember, AEW was supposed to be on Tuesday nights at first, Tuesday Night Dynamite.
Right.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, they changed and went on Wednesday. And it starts the ball rolling with this whole them and NXT on the same night. But to me, that was kind of a bitch move to make it all of a sudden be, quote unquote, a war. Because it's like, how are you having a war against a show that's being shot in a studio? It's bigger than a small studio, but still, Full Sail is not an arena, not even a small-scale arena.
Yeah, and it's essentially a developmental that's now being treated as a third brand, but still a developmental.
Yeah, so the losers from the beginning, before the thing even started, was going to be NXT. Now, the best thing that you can say is, okay, well, they may have better matches during certain segments of the time, but it's just not even a fair thing. Like, at any point in time, I was never going to accept this as a quote-unquote war unless they were on opposite Raw or SmackDown.
Absolutely. And people say, oh, they won this week. AEW won. It's like, no, SmackDown got 4 million viewers and Raw did, 2.5 million. AEW just got over 1 million. So no, they didn't win. That's the thing. But
yeah, and the thing is this, at no point in time should anybody be talking like, well, NXT needs to change this and change that and change this, because here's the whole deal. If they were still on Tuesday nights, nobody would be saying that. But because it's opposite the show, and see, here's the thing. It's a couple of things that they can tweak to make it a little more aesthetically pleasing. Like, I mean, if you flip back and forth between the two shows, NXT at some segments looks like a funeral. That's just because they choose to not light the audience up. And I get the psychology of it is supposed to be, oh, let's make it all about the stars in the ring.
Right.
But at no point in time on any show in the history of wrestling was the crowd not important. To see what they're doing, their reactions, the signs that they flash around, and even hearing them. So making them dark, that's just a stupid idea. So they need to trash that. But besides,
no, you're absolutely right, because NXT was always on Wednesdays. They that was already established, and we knew that they were doing something to go live. They were either going to go to Fox Sports 1 was originally talked about before AEW was ever even discussed as having a TV deal. So
yeah. So the thing is, like I said, I mean, for NXT, it's a come up in terms of for the talent that's on that show. The fact that they can actually be seen on regular TV and not just on a website, that's great for them. But what's fucked up for them is that they get thrown on opposite this other show. And like I said, most of the fans, I wish they would stop even acknowledging this shit as a war, because it's unfair to, what NXT is even accomplishing at this point. Now, outside of that,
yeah.
Here's another thing. Like I would say too, people been like everybody. There's a lot of people that in the community, whatever. Oh, I'm such a wrestling. I love wrestling. Blah 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 blah. There's so much other good wrestling going on. Like on Tuesday nights, the Impact show. They're showing old ones, but I'm assuming that they're going to get to doing their new shows live, and it's kind of like just watching that show. Like, if you just want to see good matches, this is the whole problem. It's almost like there's only one night a week that there's no wrestling on.
Yeah, essentially.
Every other night, I mean, you have, just with Access alone, they have that Women of Wrestling show. Sometimes you see some crazy matches on there. That chick, Kara Hogan.
And Access also has Ring of Honor and New Japan at times. I believe they still have New Japan, so.
Yeah, and then you can see either Tessa Blanchard, you see her on Impact or Women of Wrestling or whatever. They got New Japan. It's so much stuff going on. The NWA thing, that's awesome as well. But I will say this, out of all of the wrestling that we're watching, and it's kind of like, just imagine, like, we're all a bunch of kids, and somebody's parents had 20 boxes of cereal, and we took all 20 boxes of cereal out at the same time. Eventually, the gluttony is going to take over, and we're all going to be full of all this shit, so you're only going to...
And one of them's going to get stale before the others.
Exactly. Then it's going to be like, okay, where's the Crunch Berries? Which one is Crunch Berries? And it's like, what I can see out of all of this right now, you'll have a plethora of places that you can go and see a good wrestling match. But what I don't see, and this is for every last one of these shows that are coming on right now, if you watch SmackDown last week, just watch The Rock come out.
Yeah. They don't have a top star.
And the thing is, and here's another false narrative that has to go away. This whole, it's because of scripted promos. If everybody didn't have scripted promos, they'd all be great. That's a bunch of bullshit too, and I'll tell you why. If you've ever seen any of these shows like Tough Enough or any of these competitions, you ever see when they have people trying to be a wrestler, and they go cut a promo,
and
nobody's writing shit for them.
Yeah,
they get to do whatever they want to, and that shit is fucking horrible. You know why it's horrible? Because it's not easy.
No, it's not easy at all. But you figure these people are talented enough, they've been in the business long enough, that they should be competent at this. And people say scripting, yeah, they shouldn't have line for line written for them like WWE does. That makes a difference. But bullet points is fine. Here's what you're going to talk about tonight. You're going to talk about Outta Nowhere. Now it's moving to Thursdays, and you're going to mention how it's the greatest live show on YouTube. Go ahead. Everything else you want to add in, fine, but make sure you hit those notes, and you'll be good.
That's my thing too. But I'm still sticking with more so. You can only find a handful of dudes that actually have any charisma. I don't feel like.
What's our outage? We're having storms out here going on here and crazy wind or whatever. And that's about it, man. I guess we're gonna have to wrap it up because this cell phone connection is gonna suck. So I'm sorry, man. We had another hour to go, I think. Donations to play, phone calls to take, wrestling to talk about, a lot more to talk about. And it was not my computer that went down. It's the internet. The internet crashed because there's some kind of, a tree branch probably fell or something over a power line or something somewhere. Because branches were coming down. Use coupon code Cronin. And sorry the internet went down. So there it is, man. Damn nor'easters. Let me see if I can play anything here and see if it works. Can you guys see the super chat party? Because I can't even.
Joe play Rybatch at McDonald's drive-through lol.
Yeah, I can't play it now. God damn it! I was gonna play it too. I was gonna play all that shit. But now I can't play it. Which is too bad, man. I don't know what to say. Let me see if I can see you now. Thank you to Bry Guy for that donation. Yeah, man. Looks like we lost the internet, so something's wrong with this phone too right now. So I don't know. Tomorrow night is monetized. Come check out Monetize This tomorrow night live on my other channel, Corrupted Nation. Make sure you guys subscribe to Corrupted Nation for Monetize This tomorrow night. Tomorrow night could be a fucking wild one on Monetize This. And if it goes like last week, I'll fucking probably be the last Monetize This. So hopefully it'll be a good show tomorrow night for Monetize This. Also tomorrow is the vlog. The AEW vlog is going up that I teased earlier in the show tonight. AEW vlog is going up. Me and Leah's podcast going up on Patreon. AEW vlog going up tomorrow. I'll probably finish off this show tomorrow in a part 2 or something like that. And the NWA review is coming. The AEW Dark matches review is coming. And then I'll Patreon back up more as well. So, yeah. We will... I will see you then. Looks like the internet's down because of tree branch or something. Verizon saying that the whole area is out. There's an outage everywhere. And I don't know, man. I don't know.
hear that, you son of a bitch? You hear that, you son of a bitch? Huh? Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Watch what happens. Now watch what happens. Now watch what happens, you son of a bitch. Oh! You think you're funny? You think... Oh! Oh!